Hi, Lyndsey Davey. Am I right in saying this is the start of your 17th inter-county season?
Yeah, I think 16th or 17th now. I've been kind of joined the squad when I was 14 years of age back in 2004. So, yeah.
You're obviously still enjoying it then.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose it's funny, isn't it? Because after kind of winning 3 in a row and having such a great year, you could easily just walk away and go away in a high. But I think with football, it's just so much more to it. With the friendships that you make and the memories that you're creating, and I suppose when you're going out and you're still enjoying playing and taking pride in representing your county, it's very hard to walk away from it.
Yeah, and I suppose there must have been a time in your career when you thought winning 1 All-Ireland would be incredible. To do 3 in a row must be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it was absolutely unbelievable, and I suppose that the fact that we did it off the back of losing 3 made it all the more special. I think when we walked off the pitch a couple of years ago, having lost our 3rd All-Ireland final in a row, I don't think anyone would have thought that we'd be in the position that we are now. But I think it's just a credit to Mick with the structure that he's put into place for the girls, and to see the development of the team over the past couple of years, and the work that's gone in behind the scenes has just been unbelievable, and we're just reaping the rewards of all that hard work now.
Speaking of Mick, I suppose there was, obviously he'd done a 2-year contract, but there was some talk that maybe he mightn't come back at the end of last season. How important was it that he stayed on, like in terms of yourself or other senior players staying involved with the team?
I think it was very important. I think that's one of the things with the team. It's very important to kind of keep that collective together, and I think keeping the same management on board is vital to the success of the team, and we're just absolutely delighted that he's back on board again this year.
Talk a little about the National League campaign so far. Obviously defeat to Cork at the weekend. They're maybe the big games that people look out for. Never a nice one to lose.
No, definitely not, and I think the one thing we'll probably be disappointed about was probably that we had chances to win that game, and there's just far too many negative turnovers for our end. Obviously Cork, they're a great side and they put a lot of pressure on us, but I think there's definitely points within that game that we looked at. We probably could have at least got a draw out of that game, so we were probably disappointed to walk away with no points.
Sinead and Niamh, obviously you've gone abroad this winter to try out with the AFL. Is that a concern, or is it just a positive thing, an opportunity for players to go abroad?
I think it's a fantastic opportunity for them, and it's something that they'd be probably mad to not pursue it. For I suppose any athlete to get an opportunity to play a professional setup is fantastic, and I think they're both doing really well over there. But I suppose the one thing we hope is that they just come back in one piece, because I suppose I'm sure we've all seen the games, there's a lot of big hits that go in, and I even know at the moment I've heard of a lot of girls kind of doing the likes of cruciate injuries and stuff, so obviously the one concern would just be that they just come back in one piece, and we'll hopefully see them back in the summer all going well.
And have you had a chance to actually chat to either of them in terms of actually personally chatting to them?
No, just kind of through WhatsApp messages and stuff, just texting them, wishing them well for the weekend. I know Sinead had her debut last week, and I think Niamh McAvoy will be back up this weekend, so fingers crossed it goes well for her.
What was the sort of tipping point for me to go from a team that kind of come up a little bit short in All-Ireland finals to being a 3 in a row team that looks so dominant?
I think it just came back with Mick. I suppose he just stripped everything back and just went back to basics, and there's only, obviously with those 3 All-Irelands we lost it by a total of 4 points over the 3 years, so there was only something very small that had to be fixed. But I think when Mick came back, he just brought it back to doing the simple things really well. And I suppose he developed an environment where girls could excel, and he's just in terms of getting feedback. So if there's anywhere where you're concerned about your performance, you go to Mick, and he's just brilliant at just giving you that support and an environment where you could excel.
You know that year that you first won the All-Ireland, and the documentary was going on in the background. It was Blues Sisters, I think was the name, but
was that first year? Yeah.
Was that any sort of a distraction? Because you know the way people are like, we'll keep everything tight, we don't talk to the media, all this kind of stuff. But you had a documentary being made when you're trying to end the famine. What was that like, having a documentary going on?
I suppose, look, I definitely excited. We come off the back of 3 All-Ireland losses, so it probably was risky as well, because there was definitely no guarantee that we were even going to go back to an All-Ireland, let alone win one. But I suppose for the promotion of the sport, it was fantastic, because I suppose it gave people an insight into what we do on a pitch. And I know definitely even a lot of close personal friends and family were like, God, I just never realised that is how hard that you've worked. So they probably got a little insight into that. But I think for us, it's funny, it's something that you just put back to the back of your mind. A lot of the camera work was just done like a training, it kind of just be in the background, and then a lot of the interviews and talking was kind of done more towards the end of the season, so it wasn't really that much of a distraction at all.
Is it something where as a panel Mick would have met up to you and said, do you want to do this?
Yeah, no, it was definitely discussed if we were all happy about it, I think. But I think, like we said, for the promotion of the sport, I think everyone was happy enough for them to kind of come on board, and I think the way that it was done, it caused very little distraction, so there was no issues.
You
Did you say you started playing with Dublin when you were 14?
Yeah, so I think the debut would have been in the quarter-final in 2004. I would have just turned 15 at that stage.
And what was it like going into a county senior panel at 14, 15? Like?
Yeah, it was very intimidating, and it's funny because initially I was probably so intimidated by the setup I actually walked away. I remember calling John O'Leary and saying, look, I just want to focus on my under-16s and minor teams at the moment. And then we kind of got knocked out. Their season's a lot shorter, so you're kind of out by the beginning of summer. And then John just kind of made the contact and asked me to come back in and give it another go, and thankfully I did, and just haven't looked back.
And were you the only like 14 or 15 year old, or was there a few young girls?
Yeah, no, there was a few of us at the time, like Siobhan McGrath would have been involved, Sinead Ahern, Lorna Hillary, Amy McGuinness. So I suppose back then it was a lot different. Like girls were coming into the team younger. But I suppose to prevent burnout, the new rules brought in now you can only play one grade below, so you can only play minor and senior. You can't play 16s, minor and senior. So, but I suppose just back then it was different. And I don't know if it's something that you could do now, because like strength and conditioning and the physique of players is just so much more different. That I think if a 15, 16-year-old was coming in, they'd probably just get swallowed up.
Do you think that's the biggest change since like the professionalism of the training, like in that?
Yeah, well, the training's definitely improved. Like you have your strength and condition, your nutrition is a massive focus now, and I just even think in terms of the commitment, there's just a lot more hours every year. There's just more and more being put into it, and I suppose just the standard is improving. And if you even look though at the crowds that are coming to the game, like everything's just on the upwards, and it's brilliant. It's just a fantastic time for us to be a part of it.
There's a lot of turnover in the women's game year on year. Do you think that keeps the freshness for you when you're going for All-Irelands in consecutive years, that there's so many new players every year?
I think we've kind of kept a very consistent team over the past couple of years. There hasn't been too many changes to kind of the core team, but I think what Mick's done is he's brought kind of a lot of younger girls up and trying to like implement them into the team, and I think it's fantastic to have that freshness, because you need a bit of mix of the youth and the experience to develop a team. And I think Mick has always been very keen at making sure he has a kind of lot of younger girls being introduced into the panel.
There's been a few issues with timekeeping in the men's game over the last few weeks, and there's talk now about bringing in the hooter system that ladies football use. From your point of view, is that something that works well?
Yeah, look, I suppose everything it kind of has its pros and cons, really, doesn't it? Like if you're coming down to the last few minutes of a game and if there's only 30 seconds left on the clock, that's all you're getting. So if you're in the middle of an attack, there's no and the time's up, that's it. Whereas with the men's game, you know, if there's 30 seconds left on his watch, he may let the play finish out. Whereas with the clock, there's no chance for that to happen. Once the time's up, that's it. So I suppose there's definitely pros and cons to it.
Your former teammate with Dublin, Clean O'Connor, is involved in the physical preparation of the Dublin hurlers. Did you see her going down that road, or even just the idea of a woman stepping into the man's environment and being able to succeed? I
suppose the cleaner, she's probably had loads of different careers over the years, but she seems to be really excelling in the strength and conditioning area now, and I think for her to be involved in the men's is just fantastic for her. And there's no better woman, to be honest.
Thanks for watching Our Game. Don't forget to like and share the videos, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe.